It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're just talking NBA Finals and NBA Draft with Steve Cleveland. The month of June is going to be really interesting. And David Locke has brought this up. May not be super popular with BYU fans or Jazz fans who love AJ Dybantsa, but I don't know if he's right, but he's not wrong. And I think we need to take a deeper dive into the whole everybody at the top of the draft has the flaw that's been talked about, right? Whether they overcome it or not, time will tell. With Dybantsa, it's can he shoot the three? With Peterson, it's, well, how many games is he going to play? And with Boozer, it's like, he's really good, but does he have the elite athleticism to be awesome? Or are you drafting a guy who's going to be, the third best guy on your team, but you're really going to love your third best guy, the way Jazz fans love Jeff Hornacek. You're going to love him. But don't think he can be the best guy in a championship team. He's not that. So to stay with AJ and the finals here, and it's the Knicks aren't as clear-cut. Like Jalen Brunson has the ball most of the time, maybe not as much as he used to, but he still got it most of the time. He still takes the most shots. He doesn't get paid the most. Part of Brunson's magic is that dude took $35 million when he could have leveraged his way to 50. But he took 35. And now they got more money to build the rest of the team. And they got a pretty good team around him. He's a really good offensive player. He does not shoot the three great. 37% in the regular season this year, 35% in the playoffs. Now, I think instead of asking, is Dybantsa going to be a good or bad three-point shooter? He was a 33% three-point shooter in college. That number can go up. It doesn't go up for every player, and then it can go up depending on the player, different degrees. It's not just you don't have just two choices here, yes or no. He can shoot it or he can't. Tell me if AJ Dybantsa is going to shoot 32%. Tell me if he's going to shoot 35. Tell me if he's going to shoot 38. Tell me if he gets over 40. Like, if that dude gets over 40.
If he goes over 40, he's going to be a superstar forever.
Right? I mean, he is going to be there's only like 40 guys in the league who do that. And he does so much other stuff.
That's not his game, though.
But I wouldn't expect him to get there. Right? But Brunson can do a lot of stuff. And he shoots 37% from three, 37% from three in the regular season, and that drops to 35 in the playoffs. Better competition, better scouting, more intensity. 2 points that's just a thing that says to me, okay, yeah, you dropped a couple points in the playoffs. It's not a big deal. So if Dybantsa could do that, shoot 37% in the regular season and 35 in the playoffs, with all the other stuff he can do, seems to me like you got yourself a pretty good pro right there, and you need to stop worrying about it. But that's just me. Okay. And I don't know that he can get there. Maybe not. He shot 33 this year. Maybe he is a 32 or 33 guy. And I think at that point he gets defended differently, and that puts limits on how far he can go, as you pointed out correctly earlier in the show. And tell me also how much he's going to get paid. Like Holmgren, okay, we saw some limits there. And I mean, the limit is how do you match up against Wembayama? But he looked dominated. He looked intimidated and just completely shut down in Game 7. And the rebounding bugged me as much as the scoring.
I'm fine. Yeah, he's a 7-footer.
Yeah, get more than 4 boards.
The thing that I want to see with Dybantsa, which we didn't get to see, is have him play with real talent. And the BYU was woefully short on talent last season. And
it got worse as the season went along.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, on its own, Dawson Baker's injury shouldn't have been as big of a deal. But then coupled with a couple of things, Richie Saunders' injury, and the fact that all the other guys outside of Baker were bench guys were ineffective.
They weren't good enough.
And they were freshmen, or they hadn't played. They were redshirt freshmen or transferred or whatnot. They were too young.
So a couple key injuries were bad enough, but the drop-off behind those two guys was, as it turned out, it was staggering.
Right. Dybantsa just had to do way, way, way too much. And coming in, if he comes in and obviously we're way more intimately familiar with the Jazz. I think that he's going to be a complimentary player at the start. Ace Bailey was a complimentary player. He may end up being a star. Locke talking about he could be the potential number one option in February. That seems way ahead of schedule for me, but we'll see. And so Dybantsa coming in next year will have an opportunity to develop at a much more reasonable pace, and everything won't be on his shoulders. I mean, you can argue very little will be on his shoulders. So I want to see how he does in those situations where he doesn't have – every time he touched the ball, defensively, he had 10 eyes on him.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep, 100%. It was bad for BYU, and that's why the losses piled up late in the year. But I think it was good for the NBA scouts and the NBA fans and media like us because it put more pressure on him. It put more load on him. How does he respond? And I thought he responded pretty well.
Right. There's no question.
So it totally increased his value. It did not help BYU win more games.
I mean, the end of their season,
the end of their season was
you can argue they went as far as they could go under the circumstances.
Okay, so this is not apples to apples, but do you know the jump that Jaeger Dielman took from his shooting percentage at BYU his first year in the NBA?
Yeah.
27.5% at BYU, 38.5% his first year with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, that's massive.
It's massive. Now, not every player does that. To his credit, he did.
The reason why I say that, to your point, PK, is you have more spacing, you have more talent around you, and therefore you're going to be given more opportunities to shoot at a higher level, you would imagine.
Before I call him a good or a bad shooter, I want to see him next year. And if he's with Washington, we'll watch him. We'll watch Washington more than we did just because of him. If he's with the Jazz, then we see 82.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to say that. So I'm hesitant to put a label on him as he's a bad shooter. The percentages were what they were, but sitting there courtside in the tournament when it matters the most, literally three guys above the three-point line, and he's 4 feet from the half-court line on the BYU side, and he's got to look, and he's looking at a quarterback, and I got no offensive line.
Yes. Yeah, he was Patrick Mahomes in a couple of Super Bowls. I'm totally with you. And it was like the ghost of Rick Majerus was everywhere in the arena. How many times did Rick tell you, even though he violated it a couple times that we remember, don't let the other team's best player beat you?
Yeah.
You heard that from him and saw that from him so many times. Now, it didn't always work. Zerbiak was Miami's best player, and they got upset.
Like the only kid.
Right.
Example.
But that was one of the constants of Rick. And then you watch a BYU game years later, and it's like, well, that's what the other team is thinking. That the whole last, 10 games of the regular season, the conference tournament, the NCAA tournament, don't let Dybantsa beat you. He's the best guy.
When Richie went down, they were, that was all
so predictable.
Find AJ, stop AJ.
Yeah. And halftime, Sean Miller, they ask him, how are you going to get Dybantsa under control? I don't think we can. That's a paraphrase, but that's the message.
Right.
It's Sean Miller. You remember Jerome Lane threw down that dunk for Pittsburgh and it broke the backboard?
I happened to be watching
Sean
live.
Miller gave him the pass.
And I was stunned.
He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
I didn't know through that pass. I could see that play. It was totally random that I got home to the apartment and turned it on, and he went down. I went, whoa, I can't believe I just saw that.
Right. Sean Miller was the one who passed it. You can look it up.
That's awesome.
He played for Pitt. So you're basically saying, I don't think we can. Not going to happen. We got to make sure we do our stuff, limit the other guys. What he's saying is this guy, even though it's 1-on-5, is so overwhelming. And he sucked from the three-point line that night, but they're down. He's got to take the shots. He wants to win. So all these things aren't going to come to pass in the NBA to the level that they did this past season. Now, he may not end up being a great shooter, but I'm not going to just slap him with, he's a poor shooter, that's who he is, forget about it, put it in the bank, and when we get to 2040 and he's done with his NBA career, see, he was a bad shooter. No, let's see how it goes. If the Jazz draft him, have a party. Because he has a chance to really be something special. If they draft Aaron Peterson, have a party. Yeah, I don't think I think it's going to be one or the other unless something funky happens. So I'm totally content with him, and let's see him develop his game. Give him the opportunity to get better.
I filled in last week on Scotty G's show.
And did a hell of a job.
Appreciate that. We talked with Locke, and we need to ask him about this on Friday when you guys have him on again, about the comparison he has. Because he talks about AJ's shooting, but he still believes that AJ, even without the shooting, is a perennial all-star level player.
I don't see why not. It's very possible. I'm not going to slap. If I'm not going to say he's a bad shooter, I'm not going to also slap, he's a 10-time All-Star on him either.
And look what Brunson has done, shooting 37% of regular season and 35% in the playoffs. Those are 37's okay. 35 is like the edge of acceptable to me.
Well, Locke's point was if he goes to 37 or 38% from three, AJ will be a perennial All-NBA guy.
Well, 35 in the playoffs, though, it's such a small sample. That could be the difference of 2 or 3 missed shots.
Correct.
Whereas 82 or however many he plays in the regular season, that's a much bigger
It is
pool.
a bigger sample size, but at this point now, he's averaging over 6 threes per game. So his sample size, what are they, 13 games deep now? 14 games. Yeah, he's played 14 games. So 14 times 6 is...
okay, but how many of those are in the shot clocks or what have you? They're not wide open threes where he has time to line up a putt.
I just don't think you have to be a sharpshooter from
I understand
three
your point that you're
to
making.
be a star. He's taken about 90 3-pointers ballpark here in the playoffs this year. That's a pretty good sample size. I mean, you're right, it could be bigger. But they're winning and dominating, and that's what he's doing. And he's the guy who gets most of the shots. It's an odd team. He's not the best paid player, but he is the guy who has the ball the most, although he doesn't seem to have it as much as he used to. They're spreading it around a little bit.
Sure. And I want to see Dybantsa when he has the opportunity to be in an offense where it is spread around.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that.
But the whole point center thing, Karl Anthony Towns is averaging like 6 assists a game in the playoffs. You know, a lot of stuff's going through him. Now, Brunson's averaging 6.5. It's not like the ball's totally out of Brunson's hands. It's not.
Well, Karl Anthony Towns, there's one thing Jersey guys can do, and they can pass the ball.
See, there you go.
He's a Jersey, and he's a golfer.
Is he North Jersey? South Jersey?
North. No, you can tell the difference.
Okay. And not Central Jersey. Is Rutgers Central Jersey or Princeton? One of them is Central.
Princeton.
Princeton's in the middle of the state. Where is Rutgers?
North.
North, okay. So Rutgers and Seton Hall are both north. All right. Glad we got that down.
Yeah.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.